This is a live presentation of the analysis tools with some examples. The theoretical introduction I have provided in video 1 of this analysis series, so watch this first maybe to get an idea. If you follow the book, you have the children happiness analysis exercise as copy bundle file on the companion website, and you can unpack it as I did here. Now, it is a bit of it's a reduced version of the quick tour example, so you may as well also use the quick tour stage 2 project here if you want to click it, but it's a bit more crowded than this one. So I've thrown out a number of codes to just have, not too crowded, and I don't have that many families here, so we don't get lost. So I want to introduce the query tool here. So I clicked on that query tool icon, of course, but you can also click on the main menu. So here live, I have my code families here. I have all my codes here, and here are all the operators. If you move there with your mouse, right click or just move over, you will get a little HUD text explaining you how to enter the codes here. You see also how we would say it, A enclosing B, but we enter A, B encloses. Yeah, first the codes, then the operators. And that one here, A, B overlaps. So up here, doesn't give an example here, but here give A, B follows, A, B proceeds, and so on. So get used to that click logic. First the codes and the operators. I'm not following a research question here now, or follow up on a research question. I just want to show you the logic of the tool. And just clicked on the letter D. That brings me, when the mouse is here in that field, right away to code starting with the letter D, the definition of happiness. So we have here definition of happiness as a feeling, a state of mind, fulfillment. Let's work with those 3 codes, and we get the frequencies here. Yeah, how often a code has been applied. So if I double click on a code, it immediately will show the results. Yeah, 2 quotations. It will put the code in the so-called stack of terms, and it will put it here. This is where my calculation unfolds. This is where the query is going to be shown. In the stack of terms, all the codes will be stacked on top of each other. That can be used in a query, so I can see what I can use next. I cannot click on an operator now because most operators require 2 codes, apart from, actually these 4. The not why I could click or not, that would be negated, and the up down sibling ones only need 1 code. But we want to do a Boolean query now, so we need 2. So I click on the next one, it's put on top of my stack, and it immediately shows these 4 quotations, and here we get the ID. Yeah. So these are the quotations now from happiness, a state of mind. So this is a feedback pane that shows us what's actually showing in the result pane. Now I combine these 2 codes by clicking on the operator. Should be 2 plus 2 if there is no AND occurrence in between, so if these are all different quotations. So these are, so the quotation IDs are all different. So we get 4 quotations as a result. Here in the feedback pane, you see the query as we would actually write it. Here we see or operator in the middle. So we can continue that query by double clicking on fulfillment. Fulfillment will be put on top of the stack. And immediately we see the 11 quotations here. I wonder about, you don't usually have the red line here. It's only if I must have clicked an operator with not having any code in here, then it shows it's right. So if there is an error, but it only disappears when I close the query tool and open it again. So now I have 11 quotations, and I have my query from before where I already combined the 2 with OR. Now I can add the 3rd one to it and see what happens to the numbers. Now I click on OR again, so we don't get 15. Yeah, 11 plus 2 plus 2 would be 15, but it's only 13. Atlas didn't make a mistake. We have some AND occurrences here. Yeah, so of course if there's two quotations being double coded with the same code, they're not being shown here twice. So we get an indication here that there's there are some quotations that actually have been coded with both of these codes. So we have both of these in one sentence. They have two meanings, which of course is perfectly fine. Somebody can have talked about definition is a feeling and fulfillment at the same time. And in order not to lose context, the sentence has just been coded with both codes. So we can follow up on that, and I show also later on how to export this stuff. So let's click clear to start with clear screen. So let's see whether feeling and fulfillment, I have them co-occurrence here or some AND occurrence. So we click AND, so that you have one of them. And let's look up that paragraph here. Probably a number of codes attached to that one. Here in that one, it's talking about it's a feeling and fulfillment in one sentence, and it has been coded together. And we can also do state of mind and fulfillment and see in the same document fulfillment, state of mind, and another third code is also coded here on that quotation. So this is actually, yeah, I've been talking about we have one quotation and we have multiple codes attached to it. Also you find this AND. So now we actually have looked at and or. Well, creating an output would be quite boring here. Let me show you something else now. In order to help you understand this stack thing here, I now enter all of these three codes we have been working with in one go, which of course you can do, but the operators either only need react on one, if I click not, for example, now, or they take two codes. And Atlas stack works exactly like a stack of books. Well, you know, I have a camera on, so maybe just get 3 books. So we're back. So I have 3 books. Well, it's a stack I have to show you now anyway, so you can see something. So if my hand maybe now the table. If you go and pick up a book from that stack, well, it's only 3, but you know, you're probably going to start that's one here, and then if I do that, you know, these other 2 fall down. Yeah, so if you take something from a stack, and even if you want that bottom one, probably take these 2 first off, and then you get the third one. So Atlas does the same. It's not just like pulling from the bottom, it takes from the top. And people are sometimes confused about that because this is what we enter first, but Atlas kind of picks up on that last. So if I now click on the AND operator, think for a moment which 2 of these 3 codes will be combined. Yeah, it will be fulfillment and state of mind because they are on top of my stack. I want to say or. We do want to do the old or comparison. So now we have the combination of the 2 up here, which are actually 12 right now. Yeah, -1 because we had this one and occurrence. And then we click or again. So now we have these still 2 items on the stack here. We can click or again, so to get the same result as before. So you could do that as well, but I clicked it like that in order to explain that the stack metaphor. So if you start clicking it, I always take 2 codes at a time, yeah, in order to click too many things and where where I am in my stack. So click to think about the operator, take on the next code, then think about the operator, and so on. Yeah, here we have definition evidence feeling, or is a state of mind, or means fulfillment. Result 13 quotations. You can review them in context if you like to read on screen, or if you need the if you're interested in reading what comes before and after, and so on. Or you can export the results. So that's the export button here. It's a printer, it's not printing right away. It's just the icon for export. The list, well, it's there for video image quotations, because you don't have, well, image we do have content now, but for video and audio quotations, where you might also work much more with the quotation name, and then you just get really little titles there, or titles and comment. Here we have two options here. If you work with text data, full content, no meta. And then if you have the full content option, you can also include comments. These are the quotation comments that will come out if there are any. We can quickly review that list. There's a hyperlink here. We see that with that icon here, but we have no commented quotation here anyway. Would have little tilde sign up front. So I show you both the full content and the no meta one, and then you can decide for which purpose you want that. So first look it up in the editor. No, don't print it right away. So we get a header here, where it's coming from, when it was created, and so on. And no filters were used to create all 35 documents and so on. So now here, this is the quotation, and we get a very big header information. Where it comes from, what other codes also occur. This is only AND occurrence, it's not co-occurrence, it's all other codes that also are attached to that quotation. And then we get the contents, and there are no memos yet at this point. Yeah, so the output is quite lengthy, but sometimes you do need, you know, the full information here. If you want a smaller output, take the no meta one, and you can just say, okay, here these settings are okay. And now, well, we get our header here again, but now we get the quotations and just one line of reference here. And that might be all what you need. Where it's coming from, that is quotation 361. So the 61st quotation I created in document 1. That's the 19th quotation I created in document 3. So remember, it's a chronological order when the quotation was created. And it starts in paragraph 80 and ends in paragraph 80. This starts in paragraph 37 and ends in paragraph 37. So this is actually something I could use as reference when I start using certain quotes in my reports. I can use the quotation ID as reference, and so that might be all I need. I get also the name of document 3 here as information. And we have a much shorter output and can just focus and read the quotations. Yeah, so this is the basic of the query tool, so to speak. Well, the supercode button is here. It's just, if you want to rerun that query again, because you can also rename it. Yeah, you can, it has an asterisk to start with. We can leave it for now. Let's call it definition happiness 3 aspects. Just show that you can rename this at that point. So it immediately pops up here. It is red, and all asterisks, well, that means all codes that have an asterisk will be pushed up towards the top of the list, below here my hash sign, but then they're easier to find. So if you leave the asterisks, you know your supercodes are quite towards the top of your list, and you get the red icon. You of course can also now continue to use this in other queries. It's not showing up in the margin, but you can use it as a normal code in the next query. The scope button opens the scope of query window. And for practical examples, just go and look through these the videos I'm going to make on the various research question, or some of the ones in the book, not all of them. I think it's going to get boring if I would do that for all of it, or for all of them. I think there are 13. Just to show you what the scope of query window does, it's a sticky window. So if I just stick it to my query tool, it moves along. And what I need here with the scope of query window are just the information about the documents, document families I here have, so the document groups, and the single document. So if you just want to pick up on some codes for just one particular document, for example, document 3, it then filters the entire list, only showing us the quotations from that particular blog. It's a welcome to parenting blog, and we can just focus on that. If you want to read the ones from the New York Times, you click on that, we only get the quotations from the New York Times. Yeah, same works with your families. If you have this other, if it's a case-based data, we won't get any results here because they have coded different stuff. But if you have document families, female, males, you filter for that. So the scope of query window is essentially a filter tool. Whatever happens here does not really matter. This are all the quotations from document 5, and what Atlas does is now creating an intersection, so an AND query, with all the quotations here and the quotations that have been listed here as a result of the query. So the results are always shown in the query tool. So whatever happens here is not really of any interest, but of course I just stick it here. And you see good big screens or second screen are actually what you want to have when working with Atlas. So, but also you can maybe see the clear button so you know what you have set. I set it again here to show you. It will show you the scope. So in case you wonder at some point where are all my quotations, look at the scope button. If I take it out, it will say all. And in the output, if I create output, it does show that I have set a document filter. Yeah, so you pointed out that you have set a filter. So that is the scope button, and that you will need to use if you want to do a case comparison a lot. So that's much about first practical introduction to the query tool, how you click basically, and there will be more videos to come on the different exercises I present in the book, showing also combinations of different operators and really pursuing particular research question, having a particular question in mind and how you approach it in Atlas. So I say bye for now, and maybe we see each other in a different so I hope I've taken away the fear a bit from working with the query tool. It's not so difficult, and it will give you lots of aha moments, especially when you work with the scope button. Things you haven't really, you didn't really see before, even if you have coded and transcribed your data yourself, coded it yourself, worked with it, and then you did really query the data based on certain questions you have in mind, and you will have to do it. I mean, I can only tell it that these things are going to happen if you work with it. So don't forego that possibility of going deeper and digging deeper into your data, because you will get the benefit out of that. So what you should think about when working with the query tool: first you select the codes, if you need two codes, code A, code B, and then select one of the operators, or a code family and a code, and then an operator. So code A, code B, operator. Code A, code B, operator. And then it's just a piece of cake. Bye.